Today we have with us Pandit Birju Maharaj, who is the greatest living exponent of Kathak classical dance. And he is the recipient of the Sangeet Natak Academy Award, and as well as the Padma Vibhushan Award awarded by the government of India. And he is from the Kalka Bindadin lineage of Kathak dancers, and he is here for a very special event called Parampara, which is a concert happening with the other Padma Vibhushan winner, Ustad Zakir Hussain, as well as his family. He's here with his sons and his grandchildren to perform. And so we're in celebration of his 80th birthday. So happy birthday, Maharaj Ji.
Thank you. Thank you.
So could you tell us a little bit more about what inspired you to go into Kathak?
Actually, I belong that family, though, who belong about 7 generations. So I'm 7th, and my son is 8th, and my granddaughter is 9th. So everybody is carrying Kathak. They are learning and performing. I'm so happy. And here we will perform together every numbers. So first time in abroad, we are going to perform together. So I'm happy.
Yeah, that is an incredible, incredible experience to perform with your own family and to share that with them. I know that I've heard that you learned Kathak from your father and your uncle.
My father, Achan Maharaj. But the real name was Jagannath Prasad. But he was very good. So, good nature. So, Acche Maharaj. Acha, Acha. Acha is that? So, Acha, Achan Maharaj. So, it was like this.
Yeah.
Yes. And my uncle, Shambhu Maharaj Ji, and Lachu Maharaj. Lachu Maharaj was in Bombay. Film dance director, many films, Mughal Azam, Tisri Qasam, many. And Shabu Maharaj was with me in Delhi. He was teaching scholarship holders classes. And I also was together, and I was teaching. The first I started to teach the small one, then after some time, the big, all the elder girls and boys came in my classes.
That's amazing. And what is one of the greatest lessons you've taken from your father about Kathak?
He was very happy because when I was very young, and my mother always forced to my father, you take your son with you. And he was little sometimes, I was asking balloon, I was asking chocolate or something. ऐसा करता है. But my mother forced, always you take him with you. At least he will see your performance and he will learn something. So always in Calcutta, Bombay, Dehradun, many places. When I was only 8 and 8.5. And I danced, you can't believe that I danced when I was 6. I danced in Rampur state. There is in UP, there's the one state. I danced when I was 6. I don't know the fingers or nothing, but I was just doing like this. So I did that, and Nawab Sahib was very happy to see me and just calling to me and sitting on here. And so much love from him.
Wow.
And 11 rupees month I was getting that time,
Salary.
Salary, yes. And my father was there about 25 years. Lucknow and Rampur, like this.
And in your family, as you've learned about Kathak over the years, there's such a difference in each of the gharanas and how they teach. And in the Lucknow gharana, it's extremely famous for nritya and how they've brought that.
Yes.
So how do you bridge the worlds of nitya and nritya and bringing the technical with the emotion?
Actually, I belong to Lucknow, and my Nawab Wajdali Shah was very, he was writing also thumri and himself. And he likes my grandfather's thumris and dadra and bhajan, everything. Because there was a cherichale between the Krishna and Gopi. And Wajdali Shah was thinking that he is like Krishna and all the Begum is Gopi, like something. Very interesting this. So that time, my great-grandfather actually, Thakur Prasad Durga Prasad ji, he came to Lucknow and popular in Lucknow. So, always in the court dancer. But every year in Lucknow, there was one temple of Bhairovji. That day, my grandfather was performing for normal people who is just a small worker. I mean, everybody can see. But otherwise, nobody can say other time. Nawab, court dancer, so it was, there was one horse, 4 horse and this and buggy. And 4 person was coming to take my grandfather, and grandfather was going to in the court, like this. So from the beginning, my father liked that the rhythm sense in my mind from the beginning when I was young. And I was just doing the tabla and also dab, but not proper way, but I was playing. Then my father could know this is in this boy there is a rhythm sense. And Lucknow especially, there is a very nazakat and nafasat. So everything to see the beauty. So nicely, what is the turn of the wrist and the finger, how the fingers should come, and the neck, how the move the neck, not the jerk and nothing, no. So the beauty in Kathak, how as much we can do. And still now I'm trying that, still now.
And there's so much, we've seen so many of your performances. I'm sure everyone in this audience are such big fans. Could you give us a demo, you and Saswati-didi, to show us a Ginti Ki Tahai or...
Yes, sure. Saswati can tell something because she is with me from 50 years, more than 50 years.
An applause for that. Yes, it is my pride. And the pride is because God is great. He has given me that strength of endurance and that passion that I have not tired out of learning. Another 50 years also, I think my thirst will be as it was on the first day of my learning. So, and that unbroken link with the Guru is a blessing from heaven. So I really am so happy and so privileged that I can serve the art under the guidance of my Guru.
That's incredible. So would you want to show us a demo of a Ginti Ki Tahai?
Yes. I won't tire out saying volumes about my Guru, my art. More so because I just came into this profession. I don't know, it was destiny. I belong to a family of doctors, everyone in my family. And as a child, I was like made to believe that I will also follow the same tradition. I was studying medicine, and then, but as a little girl, I had started learning dance just as a hobby, not from him, because he did not teach young ones, little ones. But I was trained under a teacher who was a student of his father and uncle, so it was the same tradition. So, and then when I received the national scholarship from the government of India, then that was the first time when I realized, because I was forced to go to a senior professional guru, take professional training, not as a hobby, but still, somehow my parents never thought that this would become an earning for me. I mean, this wouldn't mean bread and butter for me, nor did I look at it like that. So luckily, I'm happy in a way that in those days, we learned art for the art's sake, not for any vested interest, not for becoming something, not for making any popularity of oneself. It's like you need to study, you need to learn an art form for your soul and heart and your mind, your joy. So there was no push, I was very slowly moving. And I really came into a professional career very late in life. That too, quite unwillingly against my father's wishes, who wanted to see me as a doctor. I was not happy though. But so when I was 20 plus or maybe 24, 25, that was when I started doing my first paid performances, which didn't make me a professional, but at least more seriously into the art, into the line. And then gradually, one or two of my performances in Delhi were very much talked about, and people thought so. My director and Maharaj-ji and everyone explained to my father and my family. When I started really speaking, I think people would love to know those times. I started learning in the late 50s. I'm 65 now, 65 years old. But I started when I was like 6 years or so. At that time, there was still a taboo and there was still reservations about anyone and everyone learning dance, and more so with women, with girls. Coming from decent families did not usually, and even if they learned, it was only until a certain age and not in a professional, serious way. When I finished college, and then of course I came back, I did not complete my medical studies 2 years, and then I came back to Delhi. Even until that time, when I was in college, our friends, especially the boys around me, said, "What is all this thu tha tha you are doing every day? What is it? Every day you're going to class, every day you're learning. What is there to learn every day?" And I used to fight with them. But what I want to make a point is, those days were very different. To get a performance in Delhi also, I think Maharaj-ji and maybe Yamini Krishnamurti-ji from the Bharatanatyam school, and a little later Sonal-ji from Odissi. I mean, in a year there would be maybe 1 or 2 dance performances all through the year in Delhi. So as youngsters, no one had any scope at all. The scenario has changed so much and so fast in the last 25, 30 years. Every household thinks that yes, the child should learn some sort of music or dance. So quantitatively, it has grown a lot, thanks to people like Maharaj-ji, Shamu Maharaj-ji, who were teaching in Delhi, and Maharaj-ji's outlook towards a modern way of looking at Kathak, modern way of seeing rhythm, not only hearing. And I will request Maharaj-ji to define my statement, how one can see rhythm through nature, through creatures around us, through games, through people, through interaction of friends. Everywhere he sees rhythm, and how beautiful he has made hundreds of such rhythmic patterns. So the audiences understand and relate to it more easily. Going back to Thay Thay Thu Thu, unless an audience understands a little bit and shares a little bit of what is going on stage, it'll be Thay Thay Thu Thu for them also. And 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then they will think it's repetitive. Tigda, tigda, ta, thi, ta, ta. Lines, the same lines, 15, 20 minutes, and that's it. Unless there is a subjective change and a variety and a meaningful interpretation, and that really is because of Maharaj-ji, the way he has seen rhythm. Maharaj-ji, आप कुछ बोलिए अपनी rhythmic तिहाइयाँ और nature, creatures.
So the first thing I told that Saundarya, the beauty. And still I'm doing about that mood. And before a long time I was just dancing, and everybody likes me, Pali. But I could not think so deep. There's the Kathak, behind the Kathak, so many thoughts can come. Then I could find, after 25 years, when I was 25, then it started. And I could see that in the nature, everything is dance and music. The tree is moving, like the branches and the leaves, they're moving. when the air is coming, the whole tree is moving. So, and the deer, and there's the rhythm. The eyes is telling they read how to jump. Ta, din, ta. The line is coming. Ta, takita din, takita ta, takita din. So all the nature, the air is dancing, earth is dancing, moon is dancing, all the graha dancing. So everything is dancing. And my God, Krishna was dancer, Shiva was dancer, Saraswati Ma Veena, Ganesh Ji Pakava. So everybody, Devata, Devi, hamare sab musician dancers. So one truth I will tell. This the bird is coming and giving the food to the small one. No.
पहले सादा बताइए. पहले बिना भाव के.
Then only this is the counting. Cheka ten da cheka den. एक दो तीन चार तीन चार एक दो तीन चार चार पाँच एक दो तीन चार पाँच पाँच छः एक दो तीन चार पाँच छः सात आठ दस एक दो तीन चार एक दो तीन चार चार पाँच एक दो तीन चार पाँच पाँच छः एक दो तीन चार पाँच छः सात आठ दस एक दो तीन चार एक दो तीन चार पाँच एक दो तीन चार पाँच छः एक दो तीन चार पाँच छः सात आठ दस. In simple way, you could know only the numbers, but I could see a bird, how the bird is coming, flying and coming, and this is a small one giving the food.
Baby birds.
So da din da da. So din da. Taga tika din. Ek do tin cha tin cha. Ek do tin cha pa cha pa. Ek do tin cha pa che pa che. Ek do tin cha pa che ta ta da. Ek do tin cha tin cha. Ek do tin cha pa che pa che. Ek do tin cha pa che ta ta da. Ek do tin cha tin cha. Ek do tin cha pa cha pa. Ek do tin cha pa che pa che. Ek do tin cha pa che ta ta da. I could see the number. I use the eyebrow like the wings, this is the wing. And from the neck, the movement of. So upang, anga. So I could see many, many things. And I'm writing all the phone numbers in my thigh, doctor's number, always. Yeah. One thigh also out there. Da, din, da, jagat, da. But it is the two friends. One is very lazy, one is very active. The two moods. In my language, the dance language. Din, da, din, da, din, da. Number one, da, kruzin, da, din, da. Etaka diga, ta, tunga diga, ta diga, da, gina, te. Taka diga, ta, tunga diga, ta diga, da, gina, te. Taka diga, ta, tunga diga, ta diga, da, gina, te. Etaka diga, ta, tunga diga, ta diga, da, gina, te. Taka diga, ta, tunga diga, ta diga, da, gina, te. Taka diga, ta, tunga diga, ta diga, da, gina, te. The last, he took him and come.
Wow.
Two moods of a lazy and active just through rhythmic bowls.
Yeah.
Umpteen number of things he has made for children, for addition, subtraction, to give them that interest in, because they learn in school, then if they do the same through dance, they connect it better and enjoy it better. So every aspect, rhythm of the universe, everything Maharaj has made. Two friends coming together, looking for each other. Maharaj, aap mere saath boliye, paanch wala. Two friends get lost and then find each other and move together.
Edo
tija panch.
Edo tija panch.
Edo tija panch.
Edo tija panch.
Edo tija panch.
Edo tija panch.
Edo tija panch.
Edo tija panch.
Edo tija panch.
Edo tija panch.
Edo tija panch.
Edo tija panch.
Edo tija panch. Edo tija panch. Edo tija panch. Edo tija panch. Edo tija panch. So it's just the distance, search, come close, and then move towards the same goal.
So many things like this, And all the language, I think, there is a rhythm. If you are taking correct time words, then the meaning will be served. नहीं तो कभी किसी ने कहा on the shop of journalist कि मुझे पाव भर धनिया is a मसाला ना.
Yeah, it's a
cilantro,
spice.
Dhania.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, dhania.
But अगर वो if you say मुझे पाव भर धनिया दीजिए.
Yeah.
So no one can understand because
What
you
is
break a word.
dhania?
If you don't speak in the right speed or the chand of it, then it doesn't make sense.
If you say together dhaniya, then okay. But if you are here dha and niya dijiye, broken. The meaning is changed.
Yeah.
So like this, I think all the language has the rhythm to say the words. And many things. एक को सुना दो. अरे क्या है ना? हाँ देखिए. Yes. Child, young, and old. The rhythm.
Just three counts.
Look. Da din da da din din. Da da din. And especially for the art, we have the very particular time cycle. And you have to all the things, like the canvas if there is, you can't go out. You have to in the canvas. If you are painter, then you have to be there, not out. Like this, the teen tal
Our
is like
rhythm
this.
is the canvas.
Yeah.
My teen tal is a canvas. And you have to make everything in there. Da trikatin da trikatin da. क्या सुना था?
Datidan.
Trikatin small. Dadidan 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 da da tit 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 da da tit. By the speed you can say dadidan 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 da tit da da tit da da tit da tit da da tit da da. In 3 lines, all the life, how the young to end old. So I can see everywhere,
That's absolutely incredible. And I think it's one of the things that you're so renowned for, the way you've taken Kathak as a traditional classical art form and made it understandable to millions, right? You've brought it to America, you've brought it to worldwide, globally. So what brought you to that, right? How did you take Kathak, which was so traditional, and turn it into translating it to seeing rhythm everywhere, as you described?
Maharaj, my question also. How and when and why did you think of doing this? Taking nature as your media and when कब से आपने सोचना शुरू किया और क्यों सोचना शुरू किया?
Few years before, it came to my
Few
mind.
meaning at least 20-25 years. Because we are seeing all this.
I'm writing thumri also, Radra and something, bhajan, because this is the blessing of my grandfather. And still I'm writing, and my old student is doing that, the song. Like this, I feel that the audience could understand if you easily
There's a
you can
meaning.
go. If you give the meaning of your patterns, of the rhythm patterns, then everybody can understand. Otherwise, after 5 minutes, they get, oh, the same thing is going on. Then if you are giving the meaning and the action, expression is coming with that, then it's interesting. Therefore, I started thinking this, and it was very popular, and everybody could understand me. Only now the dry rhythm, tuck, tick, tick, tick. But the tick, tick, tick has dun, 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 dun. And the music also dun, 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 da, din, din, da. So the beats has a nice cloth on that. The cloth is dhagin, dhikit, dhagin, dhikit. Like cloth on the beats is coming. So I feel...
And may I add something to it? When I was traveling with Maharaj, first time when I came to America, 1974, through the Asia Society, very big company, BAT Gordon, I realized, of course, Maharaj has been coming since 60s, early 60s. At that time, they realized it much earlier, that the thumris and dadras, the words, the particular subject of Krishna Radha and others, Naika and all, were not so popular and were not so much well understood by the audiences. Now it's a different scenario. Now there's Indians everywhere, and there's everyone understands so much. So at that point, these abstract rhythmic numbers, in a universal feeling, like the flight of birds, or the friends coming together, as he said, or lazy, and these are universal. These feelings are not restricted to our Indian mythology or Indian subject.
Yeah.
Those became very interestingly understood, more than sometimes the thumri dadras, more than the lyrics and words. So I think I was quite a witness to seeing Maharajji come into more and more of these changes. My little niece, when she was 3 years old, Maharajji was explaining to her once one pattern of rhythm, ta-ta-te-ta, te-ta, ta-te-ta, ta-ta-te, because my niece is his niece also. We are related through my sister and his cousin's marriage.
Okay.
So he said, okay, learn from me, ta-ta-te-ta-te. Then 2-3 times, and then she said, so difficult, Tavaji, ta-ta-te-ta-te, te-ta-te-te. That was the first Maharajji realized. Then he said, okay, I'll make it easy.
Then I asked her, you eat sabji? Yes. Puri? Yes. Then sabji, how many beats? 3. Sabji, tatathe. Puri, 2. Sabji, puri. Sabji, puri or kachori. Tatathe, ta, tathe, ta. The sweet dish. Halwa la de, halwa la de, halwa la de. Tatathe, ta, tatathe, la de, halwa la de. In 1 minute, she could understand.
Within just one said, she learnt it. Maharajji said, okay, you learn it like sabzi puri. Later, you can put the rhythmic
many
words to it. And then, of course, she's made. Maharajji has made hundreds of such things for little ones, for adults, uninitiated adults who do not understand and appreciate. So those were the sources, inspirations, and motivations that Maharajji got to make such new changes.
And a very special thing that the Kathak is daily life. If you are sitting, so some people, somebody is listening like, somebody is listening like, somebody is listening like, somebody is listening, somebody. So different position of how to sitting, and which one is very beautiful. My camera is taking that. That is Kathak.
Kathak is from the storytelling tradition, Katha. So it is very natural to human body and language and expression.
One my Gazbhav is one in Kathak term. Rukhsar is this, cheek, and how to put the hand here. Because with Avajiri Shah, the new Begum came and he wanted just to kiss. And the Begum told, oh God.
She was shy.
She shy, save this. And Nawab told to my grandfather, make this one gut.
Because I love the pose.
So immediately we are taking from human, naturally we are learning. If any small boy, then I'm learning how the Krishna was. I'm looking, follow the movement of that boy. So everything we are learning from nature. No.
That's again incredible. It's like, and I've also heard that you're pioneering a lot of how Kathak is also taught. So similar to what you described of how you've opened Kathak up to the world, you've also opened it up to how we learn as the next generation who are more disconnected and may not have the opportunity to learn the same way we all used to in the past. How do you see Kathak moving in the future? How do you see the learning of Kathak continuing to change?
Yes. I have got my institution, Kala Ashram in Delhi, and there is about 600-700 students. My daughter is teaching, Shashwati is teaching, my son is teaching, and I think I'm so happy that so many children is coming to learn Kathak. And because they say, otherwise they can send to nightclub, their children, but they are sending to me. Like,
Yeah.
This you depend your choice. You are going to temple or you are going to nightclubs, you know. So many people know. But somebody is coming to me. Sanskar, how to bow to your mother and father, how you talk in nice way. So we are teaching that also.
Mm-hmm.
And painting, because I am doing painting, so I love to, some classes I will keep there in my institution.
Mm-hmm.
Painting also, yoga also.
Mm-hmm.
And singing and dancing, that is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But proper way, always I am telling to my student, just go with your, you are eating with hand, you are walking with your leg, but never you say, thank you, my leg, I could reach with you. You're my friend. My eye is my friend. Because sometimes people is doing this thing and doing this. So thanks always to your body, the God has given you. And just you do. When I'm doing dance, thay, then I'm doing, oh, you did very nicely. So the dance is...
These are some of the things which the students and the learners have realized, and that's how, what he's saying now, he tells to the students also, that you are enjoying your body, you are, the dancer gets a beautiful personality, gets a very, very nice, pleasant way of approaching and seeing the people around, very... gives to the audience joy, all these things, and then your personality grows when you are a dancer. You know, all these, even when the film stars, when they come to Maharaj-ji sometimes, and some of our students who have gone into films and serials in India, they say because of dance, we were not, no one found us difficult on screen, because we knew how to turn, we knew how to bend, keeping our personality. Mm-hmm. So it adds to not only just that much of Tathaita dancing, but your total appearance, your total walk, how elegantly you can walk. I am sometimes telling these ramp dancers, they are going and taking training from so-and-so, so-and-so. You, my students, if you walk on ramp, you will walk so much nicer. And there are a few of my students, adults, who goes for some endorsements somewhere, saris and this and that, and they say, ma'am, they were saying you walk so elegantly. I said, that's because of your dance.
Yeah.
So dance gives us so many things beyond just the learning and the performances. As a human being, you enjoy from within, you enjoy your soul. It fills your mind, your soul, your total outlook towards society, towards your people around. It changes a lot. Yeah.
Definitely. That nicely transitions into what I had on mind next, which is you have also brought Kathak to the forefront of Bollywood and to Indian cinema. And you've worked in a lot of very famous films, including Bajirao Mastani, Vishwarupam. And so how was that transition, bringing the beauty of Kathak into Bollywood?
My uncle Lakshmi Maharaj was from long time, and he called me to join there. My mother told, if you will go to Bombay, you will be changed, because the Bombay style, Bombay style. The
Don't go and live there. Just work for some time and come back.
There will be more house building and car, everything. You come. My mother told, don't go. Otherwise we lost your tradition. Then I didn't go there. So but the first time with Satyajit Dadare, the great director, when he offered, then I was happy that I will try to do. Then I sang that song Thumri, and in Satyaran Ki Khyaal, Saswati-didi did that bhav, upfront Amjad Khan. Yeah. And I was so happy that, and he told me, I don't want the filmy type. You do tradition type Thumri, not filmy. So he told me like this, then I was so happy. I'm like, okay, then I will do like that. That was very popular. Thumri Bhairavi. The Bhairavi is written that Thumri, my grandfather.
I'm sure you search anywhere,
Yes.
Google would help find everyone.
Yes, yes,
that
yes.
Shatranj ke Khilari dance, which is, I mean, Sanjay Leela Bhansali ji, when we met him first, Sanjay Bhai said, you know, Saswati, I was almost in love with you when I saw Shatranj ke Khilari. I said, oh, I wish I knew that. So, and many people, even today when I see myself in that film, it's so beautifully done. Satyajit Ray has done such an incredible job. The costume, the ambience and everything. So that gave Maharaj Ji that joy of working, yet not compromising with his style.
Yes.
And that, I think, came with 2-3 more directors like Sanjay Ji.
You could see in Devdas also, I did Kathak bhav. Kahe chhed chhed mahe garva lagai.
Bajirao also.
And that Thumri was by grandfather. Kahe chhed chhed mahe garva lagai. That one. And between there was some poetry that I wrote that. So like this, Bajirao and Devdas and Kamal Hasan song was very nicely. To Hokana, Mehu Radha Teri Teri Sham. Very nice tune.
And it was so wonderful that Kamal ji, having so many dance forms in the South and he being so popular with them, he chose, of course, I think the theme was like, he was like hiding, camouflaging his personality, but he came day after day learning with Maharaj Ji and he said, Maharaj Ji, please check me, please scold me, please make me correct. So the desire to learn. Deepika, similarly, my God, the first day when she started working, she was so scared, so nervous, so unsure. But within a day or two, she was enjoying so much. It didn't feel like she had never learned Kathak before. It was so easy with her. So Maharaj Ji made it so easy and beautiful.
But I didn't do that, the hilo, chalo, no, never. Not from here, not from here. I did Kathak, Abhinay, and the turning body and looking eyes, and that I did. And for future also, if somebody will ask me, I will tell, nice costume, nice movement, then I will do.
And how do you preserve, how do you find it difficult, like you mentioned, as you know, there's so much pressure to kind of modernize every classical art form, whether it's music, whether it's dance and art. How do you preserve Kathak, or how do you do it?
I love Kathak, and I believe that in that so much deep, if you think, then you can go very deep. You don't, like, if I have my own circle very big, then why should I go cross that? No. I can create so many things, you know. So I will not, so other people, you come with me, then you help me, then I will go. No.
The language of Kathak and all these art forms are so complete, they don't need to borrow. People who say they do fusion because they think there's limitation within the style, that's not true. Because they do not know the style in depth. They are not competent enough to search from what... Look, not only in the classical, not only in the solo forms of stage, Maharaj Ji has done such wonderful group choreographies with so many contemporary themes. Some of them are so popular. We even came to the American Dance Festival quite some time back, maybe 25 years or so.
1991.
Yeah, okay. So, and there was a choreography, Anamya, Lilangika and Anamya, the autobiography of a piece of iron ore, what it wanted to become. It was turned into weapons. Someone took it up and put it in the kiln and made weapons out of it. And he said the iron says...
I can say in Hindi.
Yes.
तो अच्छा लगेगा.
The poetry.
The poetry. मैं लोहे का टुकड़ा हूँ, a piece of iron. आते जाते लोग ठोकर खाते हो, कहते किसने रखा है? Who put this? One day, एक दिन एक जालिम के हाथ पड़ गया.
One bad man picked me up.
He took. और उसने आग में डाला तपाया, कूटा पीटा, तेज धार बनाई, एक तलवार बनाई। न जाने मेरी तरह कितनी तलवार बनी हुई, बस कत्ल कत्ल कत्ल। I feel afraid, no? So many sword. Another person has taken the other piece, mix other material and make a round shape. It was ghanta in the temple. The sword was broken and finished until the last sword is selling. I could not make like you. The sound came down.
He said, the last word is, I wish someone made me like you. I did not want to become what I became.
This poetry I wrote that, and I composed that, and I made the painting also.
Yes, Maharaj is a wonderful painter.
That's so beautiful.
Everything that he imagines, he puts on canvas and then starts to choreograph. Now, over the last 25, 30 years.
दिखा दो थोड़ा सा कह रही
नहीं, अब दिखाने का समय भी नहीं है। महाराज जी नहीं।
एक दो का भाव नहीं था वो गा देगा दो लाइन some small movement of the bhav राधे रानी कृष्ण रूप नहीं कुछ भी anything
महाराज उतना लंबा सवाल नहीं होगा डगर चलत करती हूँ कृष्ण का वो बदलना
थोड़ा सा गाओ थोड़ा पीस not
छोटा सा
हाँ यस और क्या जब छोटा जगह हो तो छोटा पीस
it's a thumri and like there are so many it talks about Krishna's the first part of it is about Krishna's playfulness dagar chalat dekho shyam kar gayi hai look Krishna holds my hand on the way in front of everyone नीर भरन में गई पनघट को I went to fetch water in the well देखियो तहाँ श्याम नटखट को I saw the mischievous Krishna हास्यो निरख मेरो मन खटको I was afraid because he was smiling
laughing
very sly I अचानक चूनर झटके pulled at my scarf गरे लगाए लीनी मोह embraced me in public डगर चलत देखो श्याम कर गईया and then the friends react to his mischief and they said they get together and catch him गहो कृष्ण को जाने न पावे let him not escape let's catch him इन्हें आज हम नारी बनावे let's deck him up like a woman नख बेसर सिर चोटी गुंधावे बेंदी भाल सारी पहनावे let's adorn him and then the poet Bindadin Maharaj says
my grandfather
Binda kahat adbhut chhabi baniya even as a woman he was so mesmerizing and so beautiful and then of course the last piece chota sa can I come here da din din da din din da da din din da
da din da da din da da din da da din din da da din 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 da
gay बढ़िए दा दिन नक दिन ता दिन नक दिन
da डगर चलत देखो हम कर गया गया रे डगर चलत देखो शाम कर गया गया रे डगर चलत देखो नीर भरन में गई पन घट को नीर भरन में गई पन घट को देखो तहाँ श्याम नट खट को देखो कहाँ श्याम नट खट को हंसो निरख मेरो मन खटको हंसो निरख मेरो मन खटको आए अचानक चूनर झटको आए अचानक चूनर झटको गरे लगाए लीन मोय कानिया डगर चलते देखो हम कर गया गया रे डगर चले तो देखो गहो कृष्ण को जाने न पावे गहो कृष्ण को जाने न पावे इन्हें आज हम नारी बनावे इन्हें आज हम नारी बनावे नख बेसर सिर चोटी गुंधावे नख बेसर सिर चोटी गुंधावे बेंदी भाल सारी पहनावे बेली भाल सारी पहनावे बिंदा कहत अद्भुत छवि भानिया डगर चलत
डगर
चलत डगर चलत.
We are so lucky that you just did that performance.
Thank you.
So, as another question for you, like how do you see the role of technology in helping Kathak and Indian classical art forms, in helping move it forward so that the next generation of people can get access? And how do you see the role of Google and how we can help better bring Kathak to more people?
I'm already sure when this will go on air, there'll be thousands and lakhs of people liking it and seeing us. Technology has helped immensely. Actually, sometimes we are also afraid of our youngsters going too much towards only technology and not learning things, directly. Both are important. Use of technology and for preservation, for wider promotions and all is important. But certain things should be learnt in person to person.
Yeah.
So
I remember on my uncle dialogue, the old, when the lighting came, the spotlights and some, then the light man asked, you want amber one or a yellow one or red one? What kind for your dance? Well, look, don't give only white light you give me. Which color I will think, that color will come on the stage. From my eyes, from my action, that color will come. Don't give only white, huh? Don't put anything. And this time was there. Now everybody leans, oh, you give to my nose, my this, and so many problems, no? Both of you problems.
So we are becoming a little too dependent and too weak in our own strength of bringing out things from within. And just as I said, as soon as this goes on air, people will see it and I will become known. People will see it and it will become popular. But I can promise you, people who are here, the way they enjoyed it here, they will not enjoy it through whatever means they would see on a machine.
Practically,
so that human life, especially in these art forms, like playing a sitar or a tabla and playing it through these instruments, the machines, doesn't give the same feeling, doesn't give the same resonance, and it may be very close and very perfect.
You can't do the feeling of the sound of your teacher. What is the sound is coming? How they are teaching? that practically, then you feel more. Only कल TV में देख लिया ऐसा कर दिया ऐसा कर, no, it's not done. So I don't believe in technology बहुत.
I would be very happy. There's some of my friends who I would be very happy to narrate a small story, an anecdote, a story, a real. Jivan Pandit-ji, our director, when he came to America, and many years ago, he was a very learned person. So there was a very special dinner with all the scholars, and he went, washed his hands, and then started eating with his hands. Then someone commented, "Oh, Mr. Pani, you're not used to the knife and fork, and you don't enjoy your food with that." He said, "Yes, I'm used to knife and fork when I did, but I enjoy it eating with my fingers because it gives me more flavor, just as I enjoy making love with my wife through my body and not with instruments and gloves in my hands." So my food is very dear to me. I know I've washed my... I said, are you sure your hands... He said, "Yes, I've washed my hands and so it's clean. But are you sure your fork has been cleaned properly?" Then everyone said, "Oh, leave aside all forks and all." So something natural is very beautiful. A tree growing naturally, the fruit that it bears, and if you put all the imitation into it, all those bad things into making it grow better or giving is not the same.
Yeah, that's very true. And even meeting you in person has been so enlightening. We've learned so much, and I wanted to say thank you for being such a pioneer in helping women come back into dance forms.
Yes.
My own grandmother went through something similar with Bharatanatyam, and we've seen a lot of how you've brought Kathak to all of us, both in terms of how you brought it into the mainstream and how you've restructured how to teach it. So I wanted to give him a round of applause and thank you for taking the time to come and spend this